In the hushed corridors of Buckingham Palace, whispers turned into shockwaves. A revelation so devastating, so unthinkable, forced the monarchy into a moment of reckoning. Camilla's secret, long buried beneath velvet curtains and royal tradition, has finally surfaced. Within hours, King Charles and Prince Edward break centuries of silence with a joint statement that leaves the world stunned. But what truth could fracture the very foundation of the British crown? The story begins not with celebration but with a tremor. Across Britain, the solemn toll of bells echoes through grey morning skies as headlines erupt with urgency, their words heavy with implication and dread. Newspapers rush to print editions that sell out within minutes. Broadcasters speak in hushed, reverent tones. And the familiar silhouette of Buckingham Palace stands cloaked in an atmosphere of unease. Something has shifted within its ancient walls, something profound enough to stir both fear and fascination across the globe. Inside the palace, the revelation arrives not with spectacle, but with devastating quiet. In private chambers steeped in history, King Charles listens as the truth is laid before him. The room, once a sanctuary of royal composure, falls into stunned silence. The weight of the confession presses heavily upon him, draining color from his face and leaving behind only disbelief and a haunting stillness. For a monarch accustomed to restraint, this moment feels personal, shattering, and irreversible. The past he thought he understood now trembles beneath his feet. Beyond those doors, tension spreads like wildfire. Advisors gather in urgent secrecy, their voices lowered but urgent, their expressions drawn with anxiety. Protocols are debated, precedents examined, and strategies hastily constructed in a race against time. Centuries of royal tradition offer little guidance for a crisis of this magnitude. The air is thick with uncertainty as each whispered conversation carries the same unspoken question: can the monarchy withstand what has been revealed? Amid the mounting turmoil, an extraordinary decision takes shape, one without precedent in modern royal history. King Charles will not face the storm alone. At his side will stand Prince Edward, the steadfast and discreet brother whose quiet loyalty has long been a cornerstone of the crown's stability. Together they prepare to issue a joint statement, an act so rare it signals not merely concern, but crisis. The unity of the two princes sends ripples through the palace, hinting that the revelation threatens more than private lives. It imperils the very integrity of the institution they serve. Within hours, the announcement ignites a global frenzy. Crowds gather outside palace gates, their murmurs swelling into a restless tide of speculation. Cameras flash, microphones rise, and the world watches with breathless anticipation as history unfolds in real time. Across continents, commentators dissect every word, every pause, every nuance of royal silence. Shock gives way to disbelief, disbelief to curiosity, and curiosity to a growing sense of unease. Yet beneath the headlines and the fevered speculation lies a deeper truth, one whispered but not yet spoken. This is no ordinary scandal. It is a revelation powerful enough to shake the monarchy to its core, to redefine loyalty, legacy, and the fragile illusion of permanence. And as the world reels from the shocking announcement, the question remains: what secret did Camilla reveal that compelled the crown to speak with one voice? Behind closed doors and beneath the weight of decades of scrutiny, Camilla made a choice that would alter royal history forever. Her voice, trembling yet resolute, delivered a confession no one expected, and no one was prepared to hear. In a monarchy built on tradition and secrecy, her devastating revelation shattered illusions and ignited a storm of betrayal, guilt, and truth. What drove her to finally speak, and why now? For years, Camilla had lived within the unforgiving glare of public judgment, her every step shadowed by history, her every smile measured against the expectations of a nation. Yet beneath the polished exterior lay a burden too heavy to bear alone. The decision to speak did not come suddenly. It was born from decades of silence, whispered regrets, and secrets carefully guarded behind the impenetrable walls of royal tradition. Those closest to her sensed a change, a quiet urgency, a solemn resolve, as though time itself had begun to close in. The private royal meeting was meant to be discreet, a gathering steeped in protocol and composure. But as Camilla began to speak, the atmosphere shifted, thick with anticipation and dread. Her voice, fragile yet unwavering, carried the weight of truth long suppressed. Each word seemed to echo with the pain of years spent in restraint, each pause heavy with the consequences of what could no longer remain hidden. It was not merely a confession, it was a reckoning, a moment where loyalty collided with conscience and the past demanded acknowledgement. Inside her, turmoil had raged for decades. She had endured scrutiny, criticism, and the relentless gaze of history, all while carrying a secret that threatened to redefine her place within the crown. The burden had grown heavier with time, haunting her with memories and unspoken truths. At last, the silence became unbearable. What she revealed was devastating in its implication, its full magnitude only hinted at, yet powerful enough to fracture certainty and sow doubt at the heart of the monarchy. King Charles listened in stunned disbelief. The revelation struck with quiet force, leaving him suspended between heartbreak and disbelief. For a man shaped by duty and resilience, the confession was profoundly personal, cutting through years of devotion and shared history. Emotion flickered behind his composure: shock, sorrow, and a deep, unspoken pain. In that moment, the king was not merely a monarch, but a man confronted by a truth he never imagined he would hear. Standing nearby, Prince Edward assumed an unexpected role, his presence steady and composed. Long regarded as the monarchy's most discreet figure, he became both mediator and witness, absorbing the gravity of the moment with quiet dignity. His intervention brought a fragile calm, guiding the conversation with measured clarity and reinforcing the solemnity of what had been revealed. His inclusion was no coincidence. It symbolized unity, trust, and the desperate need for stability amid gathering uncertainty. The implications of Camilla's confession reached far beyond personal sorrow. It threatened legacy, loyalty, and the very identity of the crown. Questions lingered in the air, unspoken yet impossible to ignore. What did this truth mean for the future of the monarchy? Could tradition withstand such a profound upheaval? And would the public, once the revelation emerged, see forgiveness or betrayal? As silence settled over the chamber and the weight of her words lingered like a shadow, the fragile equilibrium of the royal family began to shift. Nothing would ever be the same again. As Camilla's confession reverberates through the palace walls, King Charles faces the most painful decision of his reign. For King Charles, the revelation was not merely personal, it was catastrophic. In the stillness of the throne room, a monarch known for restraint found himself confronting a truth that threatened both his heart and his crown. Torn between duty and devastation, Charles faced an impossible dilemma. Could he preserve the monarchy while confronting the woman he loved and the secret that could redefine his reign? The confession lingered in his mind, like an echo that refused to fade. Grief settled heavily upon him, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a profound rupture in the life he had so carefully guarded. Betrayal, too, cast its shadow, quiet, insistent, and deeply personal. For a man who had endured decades of scrutiny and sacrifice, the revelation struck with a force that stripped away royal composure, leaving behind a fragile humanity rarely glimpsed by the world. Within him raged a storm of conflicting loyalties, love entwined with duty, trust challenged by truth, and the haunting realization that some wounds, once opened, could never be sealed. Memories surfaced unbidden, carrying him back through the long and winding path of his devotion to Camilla. Their bond, tested by time and trial, had endured scandal, separation, and relentless public judgment. She had been his confidante, his solace, his steadfast companion in moments of loneliness and doubt. Together they had weathered storms that threatened to tear them apart, emerging with a love that defied expectation and history alike. Yet now, those memories felt fragile, tinged with uncertainty, as though the past itself had begun to tremble beneath the weight of revelation. The woman who had stood beside him through triumph and turmoil was now the bearer of a truth that threatened to unravel everything he held dear. But Charles was not merely a husband, he was a king. The burden of the crown pressed upon him with relentless gravity, reminding him that his private sorrow could not eclipse his public duty. Every decision he made would ripple across the nation, shaping perceptions of stability, legitimacy, and trust. The expectations of the British people loomed large, demanding strength, dignity, and unwavering resolve. To falter was unthinkable. To remain silent, impossible. In this crucible of responsibility, the monarch confronted the stark reality that his personal anguish must yield to the survival of the institution he had sworn to protect. Advisors gathered in solemn urgency, their counsel measured yet insistent. They spoke of precedent and protocol, of crises navigated and reputation salvaged, urging decisive action before speculation consumed the narrative. Their voices, though calm, carried the unmistakable weight of necessity. Delay, they warned, would invite chaos. Silence would breed suspicion. The monarchy stood at a precipice, and only clarity could steady its course. Yet beyond the palace walls loomed an even greater threat, the specter of constitutional repercussions and public backlash. Whispers of instability began to circulate, hinting at consequences that could reverberate through the very foundations of the crown. Questions arose, unspoken yet unavoidable. Would this revelation erode public trust? Could it ignite calls for reform or even challenge the monarchy's legitimacy? Charles understood that the stakes extended far beyond personal grief. They touched the very essence of sovereignty, the fragile balance between tradition and modernity that defined his reign. In the midst of turmoil, a moment of clarity emerged. With quiet resolve, Charles made his decision. He would not retreat into silence nor face the storm alone. Instead, he chose unity, an unprecedented act of solidarity that would signal strength in the face of uncertainty. A joint statement would be issued, one that spoke not only to the gravity of the revelation, but to the enduring resilience of the crown. And at his side would stand Prince Edward, a figure of steadfast loyalty and quiet dignity, whose presence would embody stability in an hour of doubt. The decision once made carried the weight of destiny. It was a declaration of courage, a testament to duty, and a recognition that the monarchy's survival depended upon unity and truth. Yet as preparations began and anticipation mounted, a question lingered in the air, one that would soon capture the world's attention and deepen the intrigue surrounding the unfolding crisis. But why did Charles turn not to his heirs, but to his brother Edward, an unexpected ally in the monarchy's darkest hour? Often overlooked and quietly steadfast, Prince Edward had long stood in the shadows of royal drama. Yet in this moment of crisis, the quiet prince emerged as the crown's most trusted confidant. His presence beside King Charles in the joint statement sent shockwaves through the world. Why Edward? What did he know? And what role did he play in navigating the monarchy through its most devastating revelation? For decades, Prince Edward had cultivated a reputation defined not by spectacle, but by unwavering discretion. In a family often illuminated by controversy and public fascination, he remained the monarchy's most measured and dependable figure, steady, loyal, and resolutely private. While others commanded headlines, Edward commanded trust. He neither courted attention nor shied from responsibility, quietly reinforcing the crown's stability through service and restraint. It was this steadfast reliability, forged over years of silent dedication, that now positioned him at the center of a crisis unlike any the monarchy had faced in modern memory. His relationship with King Charles was rooted in more than blood. It was built upon mutual respect and an unspoken understanding of duty. Edward had long been a confidant, a brother whose counsel carried neither ambition nor agenda. With Camilla, too, he shared a bond shaped by loyalty and discretion. He had observed her journey through triumph and trial, standing as a quiet witness to her struggles and her resilience. In moments when tensions threatened to fracture unity, Edward remained a calming presence, bridging divides with dignity and quiet resolve. Now, as Camilla's revelation reverberated through the palace, his role became indispensable, anchoring a monarchy teetering on the brink of uncertainty. Whispers soon began to circulate beyond palace walls. Did Edward know more than he had revealed? Had he, in his characteristic silence, long been aware of truths others dared not confront? Speculation intensified, feeding a narrative as compelling as it was unsettling. Royal watchers and commentators alike questioned whether his presence beside the king was merely symbolic or indicative of deeper knowledge that had remained hidden until this moment of reckoning. In a world hungry for answers, Edward's composure only deepened the intrigue, transforming the quiet prince into the focal point of a global fascination. Yet his role extended far beyond speculation. Behind closed doors, Edward became both mediator and strategist, guiding delicate negotiations with measured clarity. He counseled restraint when emotions threatened to overwhelm reason, and urged unity when division seemed inevitable. His influence shaped the tone and intent of the impending announcement, ensuring that the crown's response would reflect dignity rather than desperation. It was Edward who helped transform chaos into resolve, lending his voice to a decision that would signal stability in an hour of profound uncertainty. The symbolism of the joint statement was unmistakable. By standing beside King Charles, Edward embodied continuity and unity, reinforcing the strength of the monarchy in the face of revelation. His presence conveyed reassurance to a nation unsettled by shock, reminding the public that the crown endured not through spectacle, but through steadfast loyalty and shared purpose. In that moment, the quiet prince became a pillar of reassurance, his calm demeanor speaking louder than any proclamation. As news of their alliance spread, intrigue deepened across the globe. Commentators dissected every detail, historians weighed its significance, and the public watched with breathless anticipation. The partnership of Charles and Edward, unexpected yet profoundly symbolic, captured the imagination of a world eager to understand the truth behind Camilla's confession. Questions lingered, speculation intensified, and the air grew heavy with expectation. As the royal brothers prepare to face the world together, the palace braces for a statement that could alter history. When the palace gates opened and the statement was released, time seemed to stand still. In solemn unity, King Charles and Prince Edward addressed the world with words that echoed across continents. The message was brief, dignified, and utterly devastating. As cameras flashed and crowds fell silent, the monarchy confronted its most explosive moment in modern history. What did the statement reveal, and what did it carefully conceal? The announcement arrived with the gravity of history itself, its language measured, deliberate, and heavy with sorrow. Every word bore the unmistakable weight of centuries, shaped by tradition yet charged with urgency. King Charles and Prince Edward spoke not merely as brothers, but as guardians of an institution now standing at the edge of uncertainty. Their voices carried authority, yet beneath the formality lingered an unmistakable undertone of grief. It was a declaration born of necessity, a moment when silence had become more dangerous than truth. The statement acknowledged Camilla's revelation with solemn restraint, confirming its profound significance, while offering only the faintest glimpse into its devastating implications. It spoke of loyalty tested, of personal anguish endured, and of a monarchy committed to transparency in the face of unprecedented challenge. Carefully chosen words conveyed dignity and resolve, yet between the lines lay an unspoken tension, hints of deeper truths too fragile, too explosive, to be fully disclosed. The message reassured, yet it unsettled, it clarified, yet it deepened the mystery. Across the globe, the reaction was immediate and electric. World leaders issued statements of support and reflection, their words echoing with respect for the crown while acknowledging the gravity of the moment. Commentators and historians raced to interpret the significance of the joint declaration, debating its implications for the future of the monarchy. Some praised the unity displayed by Charles and Edward as a symbol of resilience, while others questioned whether the carefully measured language concealed more than it revealed. The world watched, transfixed, as centuries of tradition collided with the unforgiving scrutiny of the modern age. Among the public, emotions surged with startling intensity. Sympathy poured in for a king confronting personal devastation, while others expressed outrage, demanding clarity and accountability. Disbelief rippled through the nation, giving rise to speculation that spread with relentless speed. In homes, cafes, and corridors of power, conversations turned to whispered theories and unresolved questions. The monarchy, once a symbol of unwavering continuity, now found itself suspended between admiration and doubt, its future debated with fervor rarely seen in modern times. Yet it was not only what the statement declared that captured the world's attention, it was what it withheld. Analysts scrutinized every phrase, every pause, searching for meaning hidden beneath the surface. The absence of detail became a story in itself, fueling intrigue and inviting speculation about secrets still concealed within the palace walls. Was this a gesture of transparency, or a carefully crafted shield designed to protect truths too dangerous to reveal? The ambiguity lingered like a shadow, drawing the world deeper into a narrative defined by uncertainty and suspense. As the echoes of the announcement reverberated across continents, the monarchy stood at a fragile crossroads. Unity had been declared, resolve affirmed, yet the silence surrounding the full truth cast a lingering sense of unease. The joint statement, powerful and historic, had steadied the crown, but it had also ignited a storm of questions that could not be silenced. And as anticipation mounted and speculation intensified, it became clear that this moment marked not an end, but a beginning, because the words spoken within palace walls had unleashed forces far beyond their control. Yet the statement was only the beginning. The true storm was about to erupt beyond palace walls. From London to Los Angeles, the world stood transfixed as the royal crisis unfolded in real time. News anchors spoke in hushed tones, historians debated the monarchy's future, and social media erupted with theories and emotion. The joint statement ignited a global reckoning, one that transcended borders and generations. But as shock turned to scrutiny, a single question echoed across the world. Could the British monarchy survive this devastating revelation? Across continents, the reaction was swift and relentless. International media seized upon every detail, dissecting the statement with forensic intensity. In newsrooms from Paris to New York, commentators analyzed its language, searching for meaning hidden between carefully measured phrases. Experts weighed the significance of unity between King Charles and Prince Edward, debating whether their alliance signaled strength or desperation. Each interpretation deepened the intrigue, transforming a royal crisis into a global spectacle that blurred the boundaries between history and uncertainty. In Britain, the emotional response was immediate and profound. For some, there was sorrow, a quiet mourning for a monarchy shaken by revelation, and for a king confronting personal heartbreak beneath the unyielding gaze of the public. Others responded with anger, demanding transparency and accountability from an institution long cloaked in tradition. Confusion lingered in the air, heavy and unresolved, as citizens grappled with conflicting emotions of loyalty and doubt. Conversations unfolded in homes and public spaces alike, each voice echoing a nation caught between reverence for the crown and an insatiable desire for truth. Historians and royal observers drew parallels to the monarchy's most turbulent chapters, invoking memories of scandals that once threatened its stability. The echoes of past controversies resurfaced, whispering reminders that the crown had endured betrayal, heartbreak, and public scrutiny before. Yet many agreed that this moment felt different, more intimate, more destabilizing, and more perilous. The revelation did not merely tarnish reputations. It struck at the very essence of royal identity, forcing the institution to confront its vulnerabilities in a world that demanded accountability with unprecedented intensity. The crisis quickly assumed political dimensions, igniting debates that reached far beyond palace walls. Lawmakers and commentators questioned the monarchy's relevance in a rapidly evolving society, while voices across the Commonwealth pondered the future of their allegiance. Was this the moment that would redefine the relationship between tradition and modernity? Or would it serve as a catalyst for transformation, compelling the crown to adapt in order to endure? The uncertainty was palpable, fueling a discourse that resonated with urgency and consequence. Meanwhile, the digital age amplified the drama with relentless speed. Social media platforms became arenas of speculation, where theories spread like wildfire and narratives evolved with each passing hour. Some offered sympathy, others skepticism, and still others spun elaborate conspiracies that captivated global audiences. Viral debates ignited passions and divided opinions, transforming the royal crisis into a phenomenon that transcended generations and geography. In this era of instant communication, the monarchy found itself exposed to a level of scrutiny unparalleled in its long history. As pressure mounted, the demand for clarity grew louder and more insistent. Commentators questioned the omissions within the joint statement, probing its silences for hidden truths. The public's appetite for transparency intensified, compelling the palace to confront the consequences of secrecy in an age that prized openness above all else. Each unanswered question deepened the mystery, drawing the world ever closer to the heart of the unfolding drama. And as scrutiny intensified and speculation swelled into a relentless tide, the shadows of history began to stir once more. Long-buried secrets, whispered through generations and guarded behind palace doors, threatened to rise to the surface, because as the world searched for answers, it became clear that the present crisis was not born in isolation, but rooted in a past that refused to remain silent. As scrutiny intensifies, long-buried secrets from the monarchy's past begin to resurface. History has always whispered beneath the gilded ceilings of the British monarchy. Now, in the wake of Camilla's revelation, those whispers grow louder, revealing secrets long hidden in royal archives. From forbidden romances to whispered betrayals, the past casts a haunting shadow over the present crisis. Could Camilla's confession be the culmination of decades of silence? And what truths lie buried beneath centuries of tradition? For generations, the crown has stood as a symbol of continuity and permanence, yet beneath its polished surface lies a legacy shaped as much by secrecy as by ceremony. Stories of hidden scandals and quiet betrayals have drifted through history like echoes too dangerous to acknowledge openly. Each era has carried its own burdens, whispers of forbidden love, veiled estrangements, and decisions made behind closed doors to preserve the illusion of unity. These shadows, long contained within palace walls, now stir once more, awakened by a revelation that threatens to unravel the careful tapestry of royal narrative. The monarchy's tradition of secrecy has always been both shield and sword. Carefully controlled narratives preserved dignity, guarded reputations, and ensured stability in times of uncertainty. Truths were softened, silences maintained, and history shaped with deliberate precision. To the public, the crown represented constancy and grace. Within its inner circles, however, discretion often came at a personal cost. Generations of royals carried burdens unspoken, their private struggles sacrificed to uphold an institution larger than themselves. In that silence, loyalty was demanded, and vulnerability concealed a legacy that now casts its shadow over Camilla's confession. Parallels to past controversies began to surface with unsettling clarity. Historians and royal observers drew comparisons to moments when the monarchy had stood on the brink of upheaval, times when personal truth collided with public duty, and the crown was forced to confront its own fragility. Each scandal had tested the institution's resilience, reshaping its identity while reinforcing its determination to endure. Yet there was something uniquely haunting about the present crisis. Camilla's revelation felt less like an isolated event and more like the culmination of decades of hidden truths, a convergence of silence and sacrifice finally brought into the light. Speculation deepened as whispers of concealed documents and untold stories emerged. Royal archives, guarded with unwavering vigilance, became the subject of fascination and conjecture. What truths lay within those sealed records? What histories had been preserved, not for revelation but for protection? The possibility of hidden correspondence, private admissions, and long-buried confessions ignited the imagination of a world hungry for answers. Each unanswered question added another layer of intrigue, suggesting that the revelation known to the public might represent only a fragment of a far more complex truth. Yet beyond the intrigue lay a more poignant reality: the emotional toll of secrecy borne by generations of royals. Duty demanded silence, and silence demanded sacrifice. Hearts were broken in private, loyalties tested in solitude, and identities shaped by expectations that allowed no room for vulnerability. Camilla's confession, devastating in its impact, now seemed to echo the struggles of those who came before her, a testament to the human cost of preserving tradition. In her truth, there was not only revelation, but release, a moment of reckoning that illuminated both suffering and resilience. Still, uncertainty lingered like a shadow that refused to fade. The full truth remained elusive, concealed within layers of history, and guarded by centuries of discretion. Each disclosure seemed to invite further questions, hinting that the story was far from complete. Was Camilla's confession the final unveiling, or merely the first step toward a deeper reckoning? The monarchy, steadfast yet vulnerable, now stood at the intersection of past and present, its future shaped by truths long denied. As history tightens its grip on the present, the monarchy faces a crossroads that will define its future. From London to Los Angeles, the world stood transfixed as the royal crisis unfolded in real time. News anchors spoke in hushed tones, historians debated the monarchy's future, and social media erupted with theories and emotion. The joint statement ignited a global reckoning, one that transcended borders and generations. But as shock turned to scrutiny, a single question echoed across the world: Could the British monarchy survive this devastating revelation? Across continents, the reaction was swift and relentless. International media seized upon every detail, dissecting the statement with forensic intensity. In newsrooms from Paris to New York, commentators analyzed its language, searching for meaning hidden between carefully measured phrases. Experts weighed the significance of unity between King Charles and Prince Edward, debating whether their alliance signaled strength or desperation. Each interpretation deepened the intrigue, transforming a royal crisis into a global spectacle that blurred the boundaries between history and uncertainty. In Britain, the emotional response was immediate and profound. For some, there was sorrow, a quiet mourning for a monarchy shaken by revelation, and for a king confronting personal heartbreak beneath the unyielding gaze of the public. Others responded with anger, demanding transparency and accountability from an institution long cloaked in tradition. Confusion lingered in the air, heavy and unresolved, as citizens grappled with conflicting emotions of loyalty and doubt. Conversations unfolded in homes and public spaces alike, each voice echoing a nation caught between reverence for the crown and an insatiable desire for truth. Historians and royal observers drew parallels to the monarchy's most turbulent chapters, invoking memories of scandals that once threatened its stability. The echoes of past controversies resurfaced, whispering reminders that the crown had endured betrayal, heartbreak, and public scrutiny before. Yet many agreed that this moment felt different, more intimate, more destabilizing, and more perilous. The revelation did not merely tarnish reputations, it struck at the very essence of royal identity, forcing the institution to confront its vulnerabilities in a world that demanded accountability with unprecedented intensity. The crisis quickly assumed political dimensions, igniting debates that reached far beyond palace walls. Lawmakers and commentators questioned the monarchy's relevance in a rapidly evolving society, while voices across the Commonwealth pondered the future of their allegiance. Was this the moment that would redefine the relationship between tradition and modernity? Or would it serve as a catalyst for transformation, compelling the crown to adapt in order to endure? The uncertainty was palpable, fueling a discourse that resonated with urgency and consequence. Meanwhile, the digital age amplified the drama with relentless speed. Social media platforms became arenas of speculation, where theories spread like wildfire and narratives evolved with each passing hour. Some offered sympathy, others skepticism, and still others spun elaborate conspiracies that captivated global audiences. Viral debates ignited passions and divided opinions, transforming the royal crisis into a phenomenon that transcended generations and geography. In this era of instant communication, the monarchy found itself exposed to a level of scrutiny unparalleled in its long history. As pressure mounted, the demand for clarity grew louder and more insistent. Commentators questioned the omissions within the joint statement, probing its silences for hidden truths. The public's appetite for transparency intensified, compelling the palace to confront the consequences of secrecy in an age that prized openness above all else. Each unanswered question deepened the mystery, drawing the world ever closer to the heart of the unfolding drama. And as scrutiny intensified and speculation swelled into a relentless tide, the shadows of history began to stir once more. Long-buried secrets, whispered through generations and guarded behind palace doors, threatened to rise to the surface because as the world searched for answers, it became clear that the present crisis was not born in isolation, but rooted in a past that refused to remain silent. As scrutiny intensifies, long-buried secrets from the monarchy's past begin to resurface. In the twilight glow of Buckingham Palace, the monarchy stands at a moment of reckoning. Camilla's devastating revelation has rewritten royal history, forcing the crown to confront its deepest vulnerabilities. As King Charles and Prince Edward face the world together, the future of the monarchy hangs in the balance. Will this crisis lead to redemption or irrevocable change? The final truth may redefine not only a reign, but the destiny of the crown itself. The emotional weight of Camilla's confession now settles like a quiet storm over the monarchy, its reverberations felt far beyond palace walls. What began as a whisper has transformed into a defining moment in royal history, reshaping perceptions of loyalty, love, and truth. The revelation has peeled back layers of tradition, exposing the fragile humanity beneath the crown's timeless fade. For some, it evokes compassion. For others, disbelief. Yet for all, it marks an irreversible turning point, one that demands reflection, courage, and acceptance of a reality long concealed. At the heart of this reckoning stands King Charles, transformed by adversity into a figure of solemn resolve. His journey from devastation to leadership is etched with emotional complexity, shaped by heartbreak yet strengthened by duty. The man once burdened by private anguish now rises with renewed purpose, determined to protect the institution he has inherited while confronting the truth that threatens to redefine it. His composure, hard-won and deeply human, reflects a monarch who has faced the unthinkable and emerged with clarity. In his quiet strength lies the promise of continuity, a testament to the enduring resilience of the crown. Beside him, Prince Edward remains an unwavering pillar of stability, his presence a symbol of unity and trust in an era overshadowed by uncertainty. The quiet prince, once overlooked, has become indispensable, his steadfast loyalty, anchoring the monarchy through its most turbulent chapter. With measured dignity, he reinforces the message that the crown's survival rests not on spectacle, but on integrity and solidarity. Together, the royal brothers embody a fragile yet resolute alliance, their unity offering reassurance to a world searching for meaning amid upheaval. Beyond the palace, public sentiment begins to evolve. Shock gives way to reflection, and reflection to a deeper understanding of the monarchy's complexity. Conversations shift from outrage to contemplation, as citizens grapple with the realization that even the most enduring institutions are shaped by human struggle. Sympathy, skepticism, and curiosity coexist, weaving a narrative as complex as the revelation itself. The crown, once perceived as distant and unyielding, now appears profoundly human, its vulnerabilities laid bare, its legacy tested in the court of public opinion. Speculation about the monarchy's future intensifies, igniting debates that stretch across nations and generations. Some envision transformation, urging the institution to adapt to a modern world that demands transparency and authenticity. Others cling to tradition, defending the crown as a symbol of heritage and continuity. The crisis becomes a catalyst for reinvention, a moment that may redefine the monarchy's role in the years to come. Yet uncertainty lingers, casting a shadow over the path forward and reminding the world that the true impact of Camilla's revelation has yet to be fully realized. And so, a haunting truth emerges: some secrets do not merely alter lives, they reshape history itself. Camilla's confession stands as a testament to the power of truth, a revelation that has forever altered the narrative of the crown. It is a reminder that beneath the grandeur of monarchy lies a tapestry woven from sacrifice, resilience, and the fragile courage to confront the past. As the palace lights fade and history turns its page, the world watches, waiting for the next chapter in the saga of the crown.